Hallo und willkommen zurück, meine lieben Freunde. Ich bin's, euer Odo. Wir sind mitten im Verhör eines Deserteurs, der wahrscheinlich den Mord begangen hat. Ich finde es nicht richtig, dass es quasi eine Deus Ex Machina ist am
A
Schluss.
drop of blood in the saliva.
Auf jeden Fall ist er ein alter Typ, der sich lange versteckt hat und
That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it. Maybe 4.
come on, what am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Oh yes.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Clausia's balcony. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up.
Of course. Thank you, Head. Thank you.
You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul. Nothing else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you try to stimulate thought processes by hitting yourself.
Officer, a word?
No, I'm almost there. Just let me have a few more punches.
Almost where? Almost ready to bleed to death.
No, come on. A word. Let's go.
Okay, dann sprechen wir halt mit Kim vorher.
I think we may have this.
Do you think he did it?
From nothing to this in a day. This is good, Lieutenant Gefreiter. We just need a confession first and then maybe a solid motive later.
I'm slapping myself to get ideas. I'm trying to get him to confess. How do you think the questioning is going?
Good. We are doing very good. He wants to confess, I can see that. We just need to pile it on a little more. The more we have on him, the closer he is.
You hear that? He thinks you're this close.
What am I missing? What haven't I done?
Ballistics. Let him cook here for a minute or two. We can have another look around the island for a sniper's nest. I think we should check out the post.
Okay, let's do this.
Remember, he wants to tell us, but he doesn't want to help us. It needs to look like we already have everything.
There is palpable excitement in his tone. He likes him for this. A lot. But there's something more, too. He thinks the deserter has more than just this case in him. 44 years here.
You think he has more than this case?
Oh, yes. And he hasn't spoken to anybody in a long time. If we get him open, who knows what will pour out.
Pat him on the back. Okay. Was haben wir gekriegt? Ein Item. Ah ja, stimmt. Die Knarre. 70. Bolt Action 4.46 Caliber Triangle. Is the poor man's sniper rifle. While not the most reliable of firearms, it is relatively precise due to very manageable recoil, thus allowing the shooter to take multiple consecutive shots fast. This particular piece is missing a scope. Vielleicht finden wir noch ein Scope. Tja. Vielleicht brauchen wir nachher noch Punkte in Composure. Schauen wir mal, ob wir einen Lookout finden. Mhm. Okay, wie kommen wir da dran? Rauf, rum. Da geht da rein. Müssen wir rein, um dorthin zu kommen? Na, warte mal. Müssen wir da? Oder müssen wir da raus? Dann schauen wir mal da raus, ob wir dort so hinkommen. Aber ich glaube nicht. Ah, doch. Darauf. Schaut zumindest so aus, als würde es darauf gehen. Yep. Pain is on in your pelvis, makes you wince. Then you continue. Gefunden. The depot that supplies the chain is long gone from the coast. A battered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. An old mediocre cabinet newly stocked with druamine. Ein neuer Fuel-Kanister.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
This looks like a good place to aim from.
Inspect
A
mattress.
single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns.
Okay.
And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Okay. Pick one out of the can.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Juan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, the legendary cigarette from Grad. Tio Moteri is favored by older men for its paper filter tips, sweet smell, and added tar.
An old man's brand of cigarette.
Yes, it all adds up.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Concrete.
Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole in the concrete.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar.
On the left.
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
On the
The
right.
red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
Okay. And between the two.
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
I can't be 100% certain, but
What? Do you have a line of sight to the window?
What are you talking about? Can't be certain. It's certain.
Kim, with a pair of binoculars, I would be able to see inside the room. Yes, there's an opening between 33A and 10. I can see the
I
room.
can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Kim, I could make it. I could make the shot.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
Mm-hmm. Finally, better late than never. Why didn't we come here before? Booyah, Master Cop.
Why not? We have the weapon and ballistics. As you say, it's pretty booyah.
Okay. Okay. Give me a fuel canister. Da ist mehr drin und das kostet mehr. Warte mal. Der Map haben wir was Neues. Cargo Container Door. Hä? Pile of Clothes? Ich kann mich nicht erinnern, dass wir das jemals irgendetwas hatten. Okay, na gut. Zurück zu ihm. Wir können also den Fall abschließen. Ein bisschen ärgerlich, weil man konnte natürlich nie direkt auf ihn als Verdächtigen kommen. Also man konnte nie den richtigen Verdächtigen verdächtigen. Egal was man gemacht hat. Mhm. Na gut, alter Mann. Machen wir dem Ganzen ein Ende.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
Yeah, Jules, you're under arrest for the murder of Alice Cortina.
Pretty bourgeois.
A drop of blood in the saliva. That's right. Pile it all on him
Maybells. Behind the
3
victim's
should do it.
window.
Maybe
I
4.
saw them growing here.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly, nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year too? The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinique, only here.
They blossom on the islets before. We fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May, before they ruined it.
Okay.
South, the Bay of Martinaise is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it. filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
A young woman called Glacier, ring any bells? Flowers like these were behind her window.
Glacier.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
Yes, Glacier. You hadn't heard the name, had you?
My ears don't reach the city.
You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
Okay. I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Duras.
Fucking imbecile.
A black and white spiral pattern covers the sole of the worn-out old running shoes on his feet.
The maker is called Sensory. You see their V-shaped logo, but can't make out the size. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the sole.
Wait, maybe it's simpler than that. Who cares about shoes? Wir machen natürlich die Dramaprobe.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
People change shoes. It doesn't mean you weren't there. Near the room the victim died in. Sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
He was a rapist. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. He was a killer, but he was still under the protection of the law. He was a soldier too. He was a man.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
Okay.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him?
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from the
The
anger.
lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling.
Just nod. Hold your breath. How did you? Wir machen Hold Your Breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them. in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Yeah. And what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
Okay.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex through the scope of your rifle that night before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Okay.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
Okay.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
Okay. He cocks his head to the side and turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his right side, lower in intensity.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
You pull the trigger.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
Okay.
You've got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder? Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
So you were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore.
Und so viele Leute sind mitgestorben.
And I wanted to see his head explode. That too.
Okay.
She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing.
Okay.
That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
Sure.
This man has seen past her, like you did.
How long had you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Oh, hat die Papiere von ihr
Past the
geklaut.
Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Bru.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
Okay. This is the hidden boy she told us about. You looked into it.
After she was gone,
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
no. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
Okay.
This implies that he's thought about extorting her. Also, a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
Vielleicht heißt sie nicht Clausia. Are you sure we checked the submersible? There was nothing there. You saw her name on the passport.
It didn't say Clausia in there.
What did it say her name was?
It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning. I only remember her face on the photo.
Ja, klar. Are you sure?
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers. I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revershal's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
Okay.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
He's setting it up for you. The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
Danke, visual calculus. And you could see her bruises through the scope of a rifle.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
How does he know those minute details about her body? Okay, er hat durch das Dings geschaut.
It quickly comes to you.
The bruises on her body, any chance you've seen them through a hole in the wall?
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife.
Okay. Ever seen her through a window on a roof?
Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass.
You've been through the secret route behind the voting in Rex. Those were your footprints there. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
And that too.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Okay.
Those two took the cake.
Zu viel Sex.
You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
Gute Frage.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
Okay.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Okay.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
Mm-hmm. You have feelings for that woman?
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The
Okay.
coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
There have been others.
Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells?
Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
Yeah. You wanted to console her?
Maybe. I have these holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In
Okay.
silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. One more down.
Mm-hmm. So in conclusion, it wasn't about him, it was about her.
Her.
There's a
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
got away. We don't know where she is.
Good for her. That girl kept staring into the scope, you know. In the end, this last week, kept staring at the island. At night, crying or smoking on the roof, like she knew I was here. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lucerne Central Aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft. On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving, for another, far south.
Okay.
Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements, and water, and across it a dark strip of ruins, barely visible if she didn't squint her eyes. There, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. The ruins of a seafort stick out of the water, built by Philippe II, reappropriated by the Commune, then lost in the landing.
Okay.
He's there, doing what exactly, I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstein is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place. Where? His voice trails off as the 3 walk down the jetty. As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more.
Okay.
We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the
Been
years?
looking at anything else you haven't liked?
Tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
More specifically? Yeah, wait, we have more serious things.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house, stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
Okay, how come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumps, steroids, and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare.
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
Anything more?
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins.
Okay.
Intense, like animals, like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too.
Okay.
Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Say nothing.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead.
What about Freestyle? Now, I have some questions about
We did good when we pushed him under the horse car. Until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
Okay.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth investigating.
You mentioned the Union is social democratic and Mr. Clare a farce. There was something about the statue on the roundabout.
Syphilis is a disease Philippe III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination.
Okay. Abomination.
The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself.
Okay.
His son, Philip IV, the insane, contracted syphilis in the womb.
King
That is
die Verschwörungstheorie.
Although Philippe III was not actually syphilitic, he was just mad.
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years.
Er hat
We lost
so
2
nach sich
million
nicht
lives
angesteckt, wenn, dann
toppling
war
that
das seine
rogue
Mutter.
government. And those grotesque statues
Ja,
too.
es sollte wieder
Hundreds of
aufhören.
them.
Das ist schon zu lange. But it's still there.
What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why?
Because you forgot to take it down? Because the king is holy and his statues are... Say, because the king is holy and the statues are indestructible. Mean it ironically. Because cynical advertising UPS erected a deconstructed version of it? I don't know.
That's right. Some advertising cockroaches erected a cynical deconstruction of it. We tore it down with honest working-class plastic explosives. And there it is again.
Okay.
Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity.
Okay.
Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata.
Okay.
Whores.
You mentioned the union is social democrat.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the mass.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the union's top brass.
Who's a disappointment? Everett Clare?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Edgar.
You mean Edgar?
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this and hegemony that.
You've talked to Edgar?
First against the wall with him.
Okay.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
Have you approached them? Did you kill a criminal mercenary for the Clares to incite the riot?
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left, wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things.
Nicht, dass er ein Linker war. When was this?
20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clears came to power.
What did you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
And he let you be here?
Let me be here? The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
Okay.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
Did you kill the criminal mercenary for the
You know
Clares?
why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something.
What talk to Everett about precious for woman? Previous for woman. Ah, die ist auch nicht aufgetaucht, der Wahl.
The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
20 years ago, when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't join the Union yet, did they?
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
That bourgeois cow,
Did.
Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
Okay. She was also a woman, wasn't she? Like that class, yeah.
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muskova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
Okay. And then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
Okay.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
Okay. Edgar was had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Drew?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The bend in the river.
Why?
Because she was dead. The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins were black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal.
Okay.
Heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her, and the ruins.
You killed her?
Someone did. Or maybe the cow just fell. The past is blurry. All I know is nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
But you did do it.
I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night.
Okay.
Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
Okay.
The same old freezing hatred. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody, and the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
Rating in his color. You mean Renee?
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June.
Das ist so super. Es ist alles scheiße.
Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A Patank maniac race traitor.
I don't know about... Whoa. Let's back off before you get too agitated.
I remember him. I remember him from Noch. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one.
Okay.
That one.
Hat er den auch umgebracht? Nein, immerhin ist er auch gestorben.
Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
You'd like to kill him? Let's definitely back off now.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
Okay.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day, the blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Rene. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel
Okay.
better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him.
Okay.
Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Okay. Bad arthritis. Yes, he's not playing this week. Anyway, tell me something. No.
No,
Yes.
I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
Sure.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
You had 1,000 chances to kill him. You cared about him.
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day. in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together, making him
I'm glad we talked about
Glad we talked about what?
this. Versuchen wir das noch?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
That's it.
He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes and you say,
Okay, kann ich Composure 1 nochmal raufgeben?
My name. I am a...
there.
Ja, das kennen wir schon, kennen wir schon. Ich wollte es nur
51
machen.
minus 8 equals 43.
No. I was an resurrection until late. There's nothing
Ha,
serious
kann ich machen.
in this world. It's a farce.
Aside from the rare erratic hand gesture, smacking his lips and despondently staring into the fire, you can only see that he is old.
Okay, gut. I want to ask again about the people who didn't like Josef Lilianovich Dross.
What?
You're under arrest.
But you said I would be taken to the...
The sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting, and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Do you understand, sir?
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's
Okay.
sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Let's see, does it have room for free?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here.
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches him there while I come back for you?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
Maybe I can just ask that nitpicker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
Below the confusion and rage, a fit of jamais-vu like yours. The thought passes, more pressing matters take its place.
No, listen. Listen now.
Okay, wir haben eine 42%ige Chance. Ich könnte nochmal Perception aufgeben. Warum nicht? Wir haben so viele Punkte.
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it, something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Der Phasmid.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
Shashkin, you hear that?
What?
What are you talking about? Is this really discuss?
Your skin crawls.
Okay. Was ist jetzt? Was ist jetzt? Phasmid. Es ist riesig.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb
Oh,
by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
what is that?
What are you talking about?
The giant sticky insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
Okay.
You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There is... I see it. I finally gone insane.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't
Kim,
make
can
out one small
you
thing in
see
the
it?
woods.
I can see it.
Danke, Kim.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very,
Oh.
very careful.
Mm-hmm.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As
In
the
der nächsten
insect
Folge machen
moves
sollen.
its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It
Oh.
says something else in a lower pitch.
Say something. Something like... Okay. Approach. Let's do this.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness.
Oh.
Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The neck of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Raise your hand slowly. Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am. Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got
Okay.
it.
Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
Okay. Run your hand up the slender limb. Pull your hand away.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening, wave by wave from its stupor. Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think.
We got
Another
it.
shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Okay.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Okay. Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Okay. Tell me, what are you doing? Plus 2 did not give up on Phasmid. Plus 1 knows of parthenogenesis.
I exist.
I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
It's wunderbar. Fire burning. I'm ill. If I tell you, what will happen?
Then I will tell you what it's like for me.
For me, it's fire burning
Fire? Where?
inside.
I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood, but lymph, like sap from a wine palm. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
Intruded upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding.
Okay.
I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never burn.
You're the type of animal I would like to be. I'm glad to be me. The fuck is happening to me right now?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why do you ask?
Sometimes, when molting, I regrow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna.
Okay. That's absolutely nothing. Small leg. That's horrible.
Yes, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk.
You don't have a foot there now. Okay. I don't want to hear more about that.
Yes, thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again.
Okay. Is this a dream? What is happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Where does this come from? All this around the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
We need to know. Perhaps it's said to us by a god. Then all we can do is beat our fists against it day after day with no answer.
You can
Ich
also
bin
eat it.
müde.
If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Okay.
Wait, so
you look like a reed and you eat reeds?
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you accidentally eaten another reed phasmid?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
Oh. Das ist traurig. What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulindian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain, also by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Reverchol, district of Martinaise, March 51.
That's insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system ominously new to the planet.
Okay.
The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Wait, the pale is human-made?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Okay.
instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Where's how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
Have I always thought this way? But I want to blink and undo 12 billion years of matter expansion. This is the gloaming I've been waiting for ever since I woke up in the hotel room. I have already forgotten the whole world once when I drank too much. I will be extra careful not to blink, sick insect. Don't worry.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic
It
seizure?
doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Sort of. No, I told you what it's about. Our fate. The case? The case is meaningless compared to this. I've totally transcended
I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
I have to say goodbye. Now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
No, there are no more thoughts. All the creatures I've met, you're the kindest. Of all the creatures I've met, you're the scariest. Of all the creatures I've met, you're the most beautiful.
A series of chirrups surrounds you, like swallows on a cliffside, as the Phasmid moves its forearms, timbals visible on the inside of its white stalks.
Mm-hmm.
As you're turning away, the Phasmid mirrors
Ich
your
muss speichern und
movements,
schlafen gehen.
stepping on the water. The long
Das hat
limbs
jetzt mindestens
carrying
eine
its
Stunde
featherweight
gedauert, diese
without
Aufnahme.
breaking its surface.
Und wir haben ein Foto davon. Und das
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
Okay.
It's gone.
Ah, Klaas's Dings vielleicht. It can walk on water. What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look. Apparently, yes, like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What now?
He's put his hand into the air.
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Und wir haben auch einen neuen Fort.
Cop of the apocalypse. It's not fire. It's not ash. There will most certainly be a sea of corpses leading up to the event. But it won't be war or pestilence that causes it. Oh no. The event will belong to a genre of cataclysm no man has dared to suspect would ever come to pass. You can only sense the shape of it, like a cavity, a pit opening up in your stomach, a throat into which the world will vanish. The streets, the grass, the stars, all will be rolled back. By whom, by what, and how? You don't know. All you know is you're not joking around.
Okay, was kann das? Learning cap for Inland Empire raises to 6. Learning cap for Shivers raises to 6. Okay. Eigentlich ziemlich langweilig. Egal. werde jetzt schlafen gehen, meine Herrschaften. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Das nächste Mal nehmen wir den guten Mann mit. Bis dann. Tschüss euch.